Welcome everybody to the Jud Dryden Show. I'm Bill Anderson, your host and coach. It's Tuesday. We're still playing, and it's a good day for a coach's show.
Dang good day for a show.
Absolutely. Shelbyville beats Nolensville in the second round of the playoffs, 33-28. Exciting win for the Golden Eagles. Today's show is brought to you by SLC Firearms, 917 North Main Street. It's inside Shelbyville Lumber. You go to plumbing, coach. What do?
Hang right.
You hang it right, and you're there. 931-684-5731. Gunsmithing, gun repair, gun cleaning. They have the best selection of handguns, rifles, shotguns, and optics in the area. Locally owned and operated. SLC Firearms, LLC.com. Stop in and see Mike Matusik, Chris Cartwright, and the gang. All right, Coach, first quarter of this game. Let's start with one thing. Robert Bailey had already set a school record for rushing week one. Mm-hmm. And he does it again in the playoffs.
Second round of the playoffs.
Yep. Unbelievable.
He had a heck of a game. I mean, it's what do you say? And unlike the first game against Siegel, where it took him 30+ carries, he did this in barely 20. So, it was a night.
21 carries, 373 yards, and 4 touchdowns.
And he looked strong, healthy. He wasn't, if I remember right, he was touched maybe twice at the first level. Coming through, the offensive line was just opening up stuff, and it was a good night for him, our offensive line, and our tight ends, and everybody in the run game.
Touchdown runs of 56, 46, 10, and 90.
Yeah,
unbelievable. Well, the game starts off the first quarter. Robert gets us going. Offensive line gets us moving 56 yards. Robert in the end zone. We're up 7-0.
Yep. And it's, and then defensively we come on. I believe we got a 3 and out. Actually got 2 3 and outs the first 2 series on defense. And, we stalled on offense the second and third series, I believe. And it just got back into, we finally ran the script through. Coach Hunsaker had a good idea of what he was looking at. And then the running game from there was on. And now credit to Nolensville. They started to move the ball on us. They adjusted to what we were doing. We had some misalignment, misleverage points. We had a brand new starting corner out there that hadn't seen a lot yet, so he was out of position a little bit, but played hard, played well, and adjusted throughout the game to help that. So, overall, the first quarter was good for us.
We're up 7-0. Second quarter, get it going. 46-yard run by Bailey, up 14-0. Now Nolensville starts to throw it a little bit before the half. They get a 4-yard touchdown. I believe the Smotherman kid hit this same receiver, Dever, I believe was his name, 3 times in the game. And it's 14-7 at half. Get to halftime, come out the second half, and Nolensville goes right down the field.
They do, and they had adjusted well. We made an adjustment at halftime, and they adjusted well immediately to that and moved the ball down. And we had to start looking at personnel changes at that point. So it was, they're well coached, good, hard playing football team, and
play well together.
They do, and they play. They're good at what they do. They believe in what they do, and it showed. It was a true second round football game where it was tight. It was going to be basically whoever had a chance at the end of the game, and that's how it started to play out in the second half.
Well, the tie at 14-14. Robert Bailey right back to work in the offense, has a 10-yard touchdown. We missed the extra point, which was a kind of a key, 2014. Nolensville comes back, 57-yard touchdown pass. Ambrose to Dever again, 21-20. They hit the extra point. That's the end of the third quarter. We're down 1.
We are, and they had that designed up well. If I remember correctly, they motioned out of the backfield, and it created a gap for the tight end to go flying down the field, and he did, and we just couldn't track him down in time. Wasn't quite enough field for Steven to track him down. So it was a great, well-designed play, and it's good. Good on them for having that thing dialed up at the right time.
But we get a 90-yard touchdown out of Robert Bailey.
Yeah, after, if I remember right, it was after Maddox Wright had a pick on the 2-yard line.
2 big ones.
Yeah, that one especially, fade ball, they attacked him and caught it. It was a great defensive play by him. And then we get the ball on the 2. If I remember right, it was like maybe a 10-yard run or something like that off the 2, 8-yard, 9-yard run, and then the very next one right down, and then Robert's gone. They didn't have anybody that could catch him, which was pretty neat to see him. Pretty cool to see him make that kind of run and still be running at top speed and not slowing down as he crosses the goal line.
We elect to go for 2. We do not get it. Nolensville gets it again. They're coming back driving.
Yeah.
And Maddox hits him again.
Comes up with another interception. And then, so we're sitting in a pretty good spot at that point.
26-21, and then Stephen Bobo caps it off with a minute 18 with a 22-yard touchdown drive. Stephen had 90 yards rushing.
He did. It was he had a pretty good night as well. So
showed his speed off right there, and the O line was really good. Your tight ends blocked well.
Yeah, they did. It was all 7 of them. We were running a lot of 12 personnel with 2 tight ends, and it was just dialed up well. I mean, both Palmer and Jackson played phenomenal football on the offensive side.
Now, a minute 18 to go. We're ahead now, 33-21. Yeah. Why can't it be over, Coach?
It'd be nice. And we had a chance for it. The ball goes up on the goal line. They toss it up, and Williams right there. And
looked like he had a pick there.
It did. And somehow or another, it landed right in that kid's belly while he's laying on the ground. And so, again, it's just one of those plays. It's playoff time. It's 2 good football teams.
Well, that was very late in the game. Very late in the game. But that was the 3rd touchdown from Smothern to Dever. Yeah. But we wound up getting the win. That's all that's important here. And it was 33-28. Now, we've got a clip coming up because we couldn't come up with one lineman this week.
We could not come up with a lineman. And then, to be perfectly honest, the defensive player of the game was the offensive line as well, by the way they controlled the clock, especially there in the 4th quarter.
Now, the offensive player of the game was Robert, clearly. Yeah. And we're going to test Robert's interview skills here in a little bit. So he got a little mic time on this clip. So we're going to play the clip of Robert and the boys right here.
Yeah.
All right, hello everybody, back on the Jud Dryden Show, and Robert Bailey in with us. And Robert, you ran for school record 373 yards, 4 touchdowns, but you can't do it without this bunch right back here.
Yes, sir, you're right.
Off of the offensive line right here, and an awesome performance by the Shelbyville Golden Eagles. And right now, I'm going to let Robert Bailey go around and introduce you to the tight ends and the offensive line that makes him run the football possible.
Name and position? Jackson Thim, tight end.
Chandler Cates, right tackle.
Tanner Turntime, right guard.
Ian Matusik, center.
Kelly Smith, left guard.
Blake Lay, left tackle.
Palmer Edwards, tight end.
Without them, I couldn't do this. Yes, sir.
And this right here is Robert Bailey. And Robert, tell me about this ball game. What did it feel like to be out there? Tell me about the crowd. Tell me what you were feeling.
I was feeling like revenge because, Tennessee, and they try to make us like the underdogs in this situation. And I had like a point to prove, and it wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for my offensive lineman.
And the tight ends. Oh, everybody did a phenomenal job. Robert, you had a run of 4 touchdowns, 56, 46, 10, and 90 yards. Tell me about the 90-yarder.
Well, I cut it off the tight end's butt, and I just seen a seam, and I just got going.
All right, I heard something else. There was a little play out here, too. And Stephen Bobo got a run. It looked like there was a lead blocker that I believe was number 31. Tell me about that play.
I always tell the coach I love blocking, and I just show him every time I love blocking.
All right, guys, this is the game we've been looking for. It's Page. It's a chance to go to the semifinals. I was wrong. This school's been to the quarterfinals. I thought it was 4. I believe it's actually 5. We've never been to the semifinals. You boys ready?
Yes, sir, we are.
You boys ready?
Yes, sir.
We're going to Page, and everybody needs to get in their vehicles and head up there. And I believe we've got a charter bus, but I don't believe the kids are going on a charter bus. We're going on a regular school bus. Now, I think there'll be a charter with some cheerleaders and whatnot, but we need everybody to get out and support the Golden Eagles. Robert, you going to be ready Friday night?
Yes, sir, I am.
That's your offensive player of the week, and this line was so good we couldn't pick one, so it's all of them, all 7 of them. Your lineman of the week here on the Jud Dryden Show. Coach, one thing comes to mind. You got a chance you could have took a charter bus, and the kids don't want it. They're going to go on the yellow bus.
Yeah, I sent them the text and said, hey, it's being offered, and I told them what my thoughts were, and basically what it boils down to is they know who we are and what we're about, and it's the work ethic, it's the blue collar approach, it's the hard nosed approach. They know they've been built in a weight room. They know that they've been tempered and sharpened on a practice field where things are never easy. So it's I think one of them called it the cheese wagon.
Yep.
One of them called it the Bubba bus.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean it's just that taking the yellow dog just fits us.
You know what a couple of kids told me in the locker room? They remember Tullahoma coming in on the charter buses, and they weren't going to do that one.
It's and it's it would make sense doing it for this because it's
Sure.
It's a second round play or a quarterfinal playoff game and things like that. But at the end of the day, that yellow bus has taken us everywhere we've gone, And so why change the routine? And two, be who you are. And who we are right now is a bunch of guys that ride on a very uncomfortable yellow bus for 50 minutes up the road. So we're excited.
But what got to make you proud is you got your kids wanting to do that.
Right.
That's a
They
special group of
recognize who
kids.
we are. And they, like I said, we talk a lot about culture, a lot about mindset. And at the end of the day, these are the guys that have built our culture. And they are the ones that have agreed to not only this, but so many other things that we do. So it's just special. It's special for me to see that they've really taken a hold of who we want to be. We've become a player-led football program, and that's even more special. And just to see them be humble enough to be okay with everybody else having a chance at a charter bus, and we're going to be who we are, and ride in something that is a good symbol for us. So we're excited. It's fun. They work hard, and they're going to go play to win. It's not every day you get to test yourself.
Nope.
Against the very best team in the state of Tennessee. So that's what we get
3 year in a row state runner-ups.
Yep. And it's like I said, it's very few teams get a chance to do that, and this is our chance. So we just want to see it. Let us know who we are.
Real quick, today's show, as always, brought to you by SLC Firearms, 917 North Main Street. Inside Shovel Lumber, Coach. Get the plumbing.
Turn right.
Turn right, and you're there. Stop in and see Chris Cartwright and Mike Matusik and the gang, and check out the best selections of handguns, rifles, shotguns, and optics in the area. And it's locally owned and operated. SLCFirearmsLLC.com. All right, Coach, let's talk about Page. Finally here.
I tell you what, their defensively, I'm not sure that I have seen a defense play as well as theirs in years.
They've given up two touchdowns all year.
18 points total, if I remember correctly. They've got multiple, FBS offers and commits on that defense, and they're well coached. They do things well. They're strong. They're fast. They're all those things you want in your defense. They are a championship style defense, and which means that we have every bit of work cut out for us just to move the chains, much less score touchdowns. And so once again, we're excited for the challenge, but we also realize what kind of challenge it is. And yesterday and today in practice, there's been a lot of film. There's been a lot of mechanical and technique work. There's been a lot of making sure we're doing those things that we know we can do and should do well. Flip it to the other side. Their offense is scoring plenty of points on their own as well. And like we were talking earlier, boy, they get across the 50 and they get aggressive really fast. And so we've got to be able to do what we have to do on the defensive side of the ball to stop that. And then when it comes to special teams, the punter they have is special. I mean, he can flip the field in a single moment. So we have to be on ball with that and on point with that. So it's going to be a three-phase football game, and it's something we're going to have to be able to put together.
There's two common opponents that we both have played. Mm-hmm. Coffee County, yep. Nolensville.
Right.
And Page beat both of them 42-0.
They sure did. And, we with both of those, it was less than a touchdown difference with us and them. So, our saving grace in this is we were as far as Coffee County goes, that's back when we were still trying to piece together an offensive line because of injuries. Last week against Nolensville, I mean, it's a playoff game, so everybody's playing. Nobody wants to go home. So we'll see. We're like I said, we're looking forward to it. They
probably lead the state of Tennessee in field position, from special teams to capitalizing on mistakes. You make a mistake, Page makes you pay.
Right.
They've done it all year long.
It's the hallmark of a great football team. And Coach Rathbone has put one together, and he's had several in a row now.
He sure has.
Some of these guys have been playing. This will be their fourth opportunity to go to Chattanooga or go to be the state playing state championship game. So that's a big deal. I mean, they've been there, done that. We haven't, and that's another piece to it too. But again, it's the same thing we preach every single day. Is the way you play in a big game is the same way you play in any game. It's every moment matters, and your mindset matters, and that's what you approach it with. So that's what we've been building towards, and here we are.
One thing we noticed in the Centennial game with Page is Right off the bat, Centennial ran a kickoff back for a touchdown, and the Hankies got it.
Yep, and it is. It's a legit call or not. I think it was, but legit call or not, it changes the game a little
Sure.
bit one way or the other.
Because right after that, next thing you know, Centennial's snapped it over the head. And it's a safety, which that's a huge momentum switch.
Absolutely. And so it's you have to be able to respond well to adversity. You have to be able to respond well to failure. You have to be able to respond well no matter the situation. So that's got to be something we've got to manage as well. We've done that this year. We've been able to mentally come back immediately from things when they go bad, and it's going to happen again this week.
Now, for all the great talk about Page, and it's all well deserved, his team is outstanding. Things Page hasn't seen.
So it does. So far, it doesn't look like they've come up against a running back. I think Coach Rathbone even said it himself. They've not come up against a running back like Robert. You got a true dual threat quarterback that can stretch the field horizontally and vertically, in Stephen Bobo,
and can run with anybody.
Yeah, and a continually improving offensive line. So those things will all matter when it comes up to there. They're aware of that. We know that. It's gonna boil down to who makes plays when they have to.
And the two other kids I'll just name out because of speed, and it's LeBron and William.
Yeah.
I don't think they've seen that kind of speed.
No, they would have seen it from Franklin. Maybe Overton as well. I'd have to go back and really look at that film. But Franklin's got a couple of Stephen Williams' cousin plays for Franklin. So and from what I understand, he's a heck of a track athlete. So they would have seen that speed out of at least one or two guys this season. But overall, week in, week out now.
What does it mean, a game like this one, to where you've been through a fourth quarter behind? You've had to come back. And maybe when you haven't been in that situation, you just don't know.
Right. And they've not experienced this year. I know they've experienced last year. And so with so many of those guys back, they can fall back on that, and they can fall back on who they are and how good they are. Those things may matter in increments. But as far as a full swing in a game, this is going to boil down to who makes the plays at the right times. And
this is why you played the schedule the way you played it, just to get ready for a game like this.
It's why we wanted to. It's why we wanted to be able to come up against a defensive line the way that Coffee County has. Why we picked a full with the exception of Marshall County, who's playing great football right now, a full 5A, 6A non-region schedule. So and Marshall County would do well in most 5A regions. As
they may well win the state, especially if they give out Pearl again.
Yeah, then with having them at home, that's huge. I asked, I was talking to somebody today, he couldn't remember for sure how long it had been, but it may have been up to 10 years since Lewisburg, since Marshall County's had a home quarterfinal game. So there's that. So Marshall County's playing as good as anybody in 4A right now. So, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? Who knows how it works out? But at the end of the day, we have to go out and make plays. Paige has to go out and make plays, and then we got to win our moments.
We want to play Thanksgiving week.
We want to play Thanksgiving week. I'd love for these guys to experience a Thanksgiving morning practice.
That would be awesome.
So it's one of the most amazing things and special things that happens in high school football is practicing on Thanksgiving.
Now, when one gets to the quarterfinals, that's still at the home schools is that way, or is it? Now,
yes,
it's where the clinic bowl is.
Right. It's and then it all depends on the region number and the calendar year after that and things like that. But yeah, it's the higher seed out of all of us would have went, but when it defaults to the other side for us right now because they're the even region.
So the final game, the Clinic Bowl, is the one in Chattanooga.
Yes, it's
everything's out of school up till then.
Right, everything. Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
That's what I
misunderstood.
Yeah,
and we'll travel. I believe no matter what, if we were to upset Page, is the way everything looks. We upset Page, we would travel to the winner of Beach and Springfield. So that's but shoot, we gotta win Friday.
Oh,
first,
absolutely.
And that's going to be a tough chore, but it's also one we're ready for and we're looking forward to.
Coach, I got a number for you.
Okay.
21. I think that's the key number.
Yeah, you could be very well right.
Team that gets to 21 is going to win this football game because it's going to be hard-hitting defense.
Yep.
And it's going to be, I think this is going to be one exciting football game.
It should be. We hope it is. And again, just like we've said so many times, two things. One is the ball is not round and it will bounce however it wants to in any given moment. So you have to be prepared for that. And then the other thing is all you can truly hope and pray for is a chance to win at the end of the game with football in your hands. So that's the way we need to go.
Last thing we're going to talk about, health of the football team. We're pretty healthy, aren't we?
Overall, we seem to be we're as healthy right now in the quarterfinals as we have been at any point in the year this year overall, and that's saying something.
Huge.
So I mean, and who knows? Page could be in the same situation. They could be more banged up. They could be healthier than we are. We just don't know. But it's exciting to know that right now we're starting to hit on all cylinders right when we need to be.
You're going in at full strength. That's all you can ask for.
Yep,
You got a puncher's shot to go up here and get them.
Yep, I agree. So
Everybody get out to Page. It's not far. It's up there in Franklin. It's in Franklin. It's not a bad drive from here at all.
Not at all. It's on Arno Road. It's easy to get to. So
Was it 45 minutes maybe?
Maybe, depending on traffic.
Right.
I mean, it's depending on which way you get, Waze or your GPS takes you. But
Right.
a lot of times you take that little cut road there at right before Arrington Vineyards, and it pushes you on over to Arno. But it's just
The last time Shovel played Page, you remember when that was?
that would have been in 2020 at
Who won
home.
that game?
We did.
29-13.
We did. So
Thought I'd catch y'all balance,
no,
Coach.
I was here for. I mean, I was the defense coordinator in that.
You ain't gonna forget
We
that one on me,
We
are
were
you?
actually able to cover a hitch on that. So
29-13 victory. Let's try to go get another one.
amen.
All right, everybody, get out and support the Golden Eagles Friday night, 7 o'clock at Page. It's the quarterfinals with a chance to go to the semis. And win, lose, or draw, we'll be right back here next Tuesday on the Jud Dryden